You are about to experience the best in professional audio, lighting, DJ gear, special effects, and video. This is coverage of Winter NAMM 2017. We are AGIProDJ.com.
What's up, everybody? Ty from AGI Pro DJ NAMM 2017 here in Anaheim, California, hanging out in the Pioneer DJ booth with Stuart, who's going to take us through the TORAIZ pieces, the old SP-16, and then the brand new AS-1. So I'm going to hand this over to Stuart. We're going to take a look.
All right, so I'm here with our two units from the TORAIZ series. We have the SP-16 and then we also have the AS-1. Let's start off with the SP-16. This is a completely standalone unit. It doesn't need to be connected to the computer at all. It runs its own operating system. Has a 7-inch touchscreen on here. You can load anything from a one-shot, and if you load a one-shot, you can then play it on a scale mode up and down the scale. You can also load in a loop, and you can do several things with the loops. You can slice them up accordingly, play it back in a slice mode, or you can also just have it playing back and it will actually real-time time stretch up to 16 different loops at once. Great for people who are using it for live performance that may be adjusting the BPM of their performance on the fly. You have not only touchscreen on here, you have a full mixer, you have insert effects on that mixer, you have a full Dave Smith analog filter right up here. You can use it just as a high cut, low cut. It's the analog filter out of the Prophet 6. You can also overdrive any signal and get some really rich harmonic saturation coming out of the sound. The filter can be assigned to the master output, or it can be also assigned to each individual output if you'd like as well. You can record by playing the pads in, or you can come down here and do your classic step sequencing for sequencing out your drums. Over here we have a touch strip on the side. Now you can control the pitch, you can control note repeat, and in these two user modes you can assign up to 7 different parameters to act all at one time, whether that's pitch and repeat, and then effects, wet and dry. Whatever you'd like, you can customize it and have 2 user modes right there in order to really manipulate your sound and do a lot of creativity there on the fly. It does come with 8 gigs of internal memory, and also you can have a USB stick here and have as much memory as your USB stick can hold. You can export your projects and your scenes and import it into different SP-16 units so people can collaborate very easily on there as well. Now, if we move over here, on the SP-16, there's actually a dedicated feature where we can say on this track we're going to be controlling the new AS-1, which is our analog synth. This is a fully analog synth. It's monophonic, so it can play one note at a time. And we took a lot of the elements out of the Prophet 6 and placed them into just a smaller form factor here. It has 4 oscillators in it. 2 of them are variable oscillators, so they go in between a triangle, a saw, and a pulse width, and you can just morph in between those 3 shapes. And it does have a sub oscillator and also a noise oscillator on there as well. You have a high pass and low pass filter, also off the Prophet 6 as well. And then 2 insert effects, also off the Prophet 6 as well, including the famous bucket delay and also the Dave Smith phaser on there. Now, when you integrate these 2 together and I switch scenes from the SP-16 to the AS-1, it will actually change the parameter and change the sequence. So you can go and use it on live performances, and whenever you switch your song over here, this is going to coordinate and switch parameters over here as well. Now, after we go through our 4 oscillators and our 2 filters, we have a full arpeggiator on here. We also have a sequencer. It's a 64-step sequencer, so you can emulate things like a classic 303, or you can make your own custom sequences as well. When you're playing back a sequence, you can actually switch in between what keys the sequence is playing back by just hitting the corresponding note on here. And it also has a full scale mode. We have 21 scales that you can assign to the keyboard, so when you're playing it, it only plays everything that is within that scale. Moving over to our touch strip on the side, the touch strip can be used as a modulation trigger and can be routed to 7 different effects all at the same time with variable parameters, so you can really get a ton of movement going in and out of your touch strip right here. It does come with 495 presets. Those are designed by the Dave Smith team. They're anywhere from super experimental, so your classic Prophet 6 sounds. But then those 495 presets are also mirrored in a user bank, so you can customize each one of those and save that exact preset as you'd like. Another cool feature is when you have the sequencer on here and you're playing back a sequence, you can lock that sequence and then go through several other sounds. So let's say you design a really cool bass line, you can just lock that in and go through and customize different sounds by keeping that sequence locked in. It will connect and carry MIDI through the USB and all through the MIDI port as well on the back. You have a trigger in for foot pedal if you want to use a foot pedal as a trigger source. Both of these units will seamlessly work with any sort of DAW, whether it's Ableton, Logic, Fruity Loops, Pro Tools, whatever you're using. They both connect via MIDI, and this can connect to your computer and connect as an external hard drive. So if you have a lot of samples on your computer, you can just connect this as an external drive, drop everything in, and then arrange it on your pads however you see fit. So I'm just going to trigger some sequences right here. Let's turn it up a little bit, and we're just going to go through some of the patches in here that also have sequences allocated to it. .808.
Yep, you got it. So Stuart, do you have anything set up to where we could hear it working in conjunction with the SP-1?
Well, we can make a track really quick if you like.
Nice.
So let's come in here to our pattern. Actually, we're going to just delete the pattern. This is how quickly it works. We're just going to delete that pattern and just start a fresh pattern here. So we're on pattern 1, and as you can see, nothing is playing when we're playing that. So let's just go into select our kick drum right here, and let's just get this guy in here. Really quickly, I'm going to go and just make it a 1-bar pattern just for speed of putting together a little example. Let's put this guy in here. Get this guy going. And let me just... And let's put...
And there you have it, the TORAIZ AS-1 full analog monophonic synth.